Maria Salazar. I represent District Number 27 in Florida, the heart of the Cuban exile community and the Venezuelan community. So we are delighted that President Trump took the initiative to rid that country from communism, and now is the time for us to be able to invest and help them revamp, specifically the oil industry. Few questions. I know you have $8 billion to lend. Any specific amount that you're thinking about investing in this priority for the White House? Let's start with that question.
So, Congresswoman Salazar, I'm sorry you missed a very animated discussion a few moments ago. But fundamentally, as I said, the president's national security strategy really puts the Western Hemisphere at its core. And so one thing that we've done, I think at least for the first time in at least modern XM history, is we've actually integrated the national security strategy into our credit underwriting and business development efforts. And so it's a priority. We've made it a priority, and so what we've actively done, and in fact, I was very honored to be asked by President Trump to attend the inauguration of President Paz in Bolivia, and so what I encountered firsthand was 25 plus years of corrosive, corrupt leadership that had created this calcified layer of
That's all over Latin America. So,
all over Latin America.
Yeah, we do know. I know the area very well, but why don't we go back to Venezuela because of
oh, sorry, my
lack
apologies.
of time. Yeah, so specifically Venezuela, any type of American sectors that have approached you, what sectors within that country, what American companies? So I can then see how I can help you. Yes.
Now I totally understand it. Forgive me.
No problem. Your time is of the essence.
You'll know where to find me too, I promise. We have some restrictions with our ability to actually deploy our balance sheet into places like Venezuela until some of the statutory issues are addressed. However, what we've started to do is say, how do we use our know-how, our best practices, in conjunction with the State Department, in conjunction with Treasury, the Department of Energy, the Department of Interior. As you can imagine, and Secretary Rubio said it perfectly, there's a multi-stage plan in place. The initial is focused on stabilizing Venezuela. That's the president.
But any specific sectors that you have in mind?
It's the natural resource sectors, as you can imagine, which are highest priority.
And what about any specific American companies that have approached you to help them be able to invest in Venezuela?
There are a number that approached the White House that have talked to us, so absolutely.
All right. Any specific ones that we can help you with in order to do their homework so we can start that investment? What is stopping them from investing in Venezuela?
As you can imagine, I have a lot to manage, and so I'm not across all of the policy and all the restrictions. I think one of the things they're very focused on is, can I get paid for the work that I do? And
of course,
the best way to think about that is transparency and accountability around fund flows. And I think that's exactly what has been said about XM's efforts to try to help them. I'm sure there are a number of things that you could do to help the situation writ large. But from XM's perspective, what we're trying to do is help rebuild their confidence, understanding that we still have some limitations in terms of what we can do in the country.
So what do you advise me to do? I have hundreds of supporters who have the wherewithal and the resources and the willingness to invest in the country, but they're always coming to us and asking us, how can I make sure that whatever I invest in Venezuela will be protected? And these are Venezuelan Americans, people who have been in the country for 25 years. So there's a lot of, like you were saying, there's a lot of private sector resources that are willing to go back, but they need our backing. What should I say to them?
It's a great question. To the extent that they're interested in the natural resource space, which I can imagine many of them are, we've found that our partners at the National Energy Dominance Council are a fantastic interlocutor because they sit across all government agencies trying to mobilize all of our tools together, because there are many instances, Congresswoman, where something I can't do, somebody else can. And so they're a very important clearinghouse, and I would say probably the Department of the Treasury, because many of these licenses are quite dynamic. The ability to operate in country.
But Treasury doesn't lend them the money, you do. So is there any way that we can invite you to
I can't lend them the money quite yet until some of these issues are addressed.
We're trying to create the runway for you to be able to do that. So is there any way that you can come to my district? I'm publicly inviting you to come and sit with these people who are very willing to help help the United States do the job in Venezuela. So it will not just fall on the United States Congress shoulders.
Name the day, I'll be there.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yes, we'll welcome you to District 27. I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. Chairman